What's going on, world? It's your dog, Artman Boxing, and I'm back with another boxing conversations. Man, oh man, we feeling good. We feeling great this afternoon. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling rehydrated really well. I'm feeling full. I'm out here starving to make weight like your boy Teofimo Lopez. Hey, we got to talk about it. I've been hearing some things in the camp. I've been hearing some things, man. Uh, I've been hearing that your boy he struggled to make 135, but somehow he magically made it. So here we are, and we have a fight. Uh, Cambosos he weighed at a ready 134 pounds, and Teofimo Lopez weighed at exactly 135, not a point over, not a point under. Really strange, but that's what they saying. So hey, he said post Turkey Day, laying back, just hearing the cook. Hey man, we just relaxing. I got my tree. I'm feeling good. Let me know if you can hear me. My stand is kind of fucked up, so I got my phone placed on the bottom. Let me know if you can hear me all right. Let me know if you can hear me all right. But we ain't here cooking up, man. Um, Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody. I hope y'all enjoyed y'all Thanksgiving. So you can hear me, Coward Nello. Coward Nello, you can hear me. Oh man, this guy changed his name to Coward Nello, man. What the hell? Hey, it is what it is. If that's what fans feel about Canelo, shit, that's what it is. But shout out to my dude, the troll killer, Mr. Shelton, man. I haven't seen you in here in a little minute. What's up with you, brother? Yeah, shout out to everybody. So that's why he had a hand injury, fake COVID, and had that many days delays. Yeah. Yeah, I could see it, man. You know, my prediction is if he doesn't get Cambosos out of there in the first 4 rounds, I honestly believe that Cambosos is going to win that fight because once again, this guy Teofimo Lopez states that he has asthma, which is a severe condition with your lungs, which makes it hard for you to breathe at certain times. So him admitting stuff like that, it must give Cambosos confidence to take that man into the deep waters and drown him. His lungs can't keep up from that. He said none but factual facts. You hear Ray Nelson say they want Triple G in Mexico. Yeah, they want a 40-plus-year-old Triple G on in fucking Mexico. Of course they want that shit. Of course they want that shit. And Triple G want that shit too because he don't want to fight Charlo. He don't want to fight Andre. Who the fuck wants to fight those guys? That's why people want them to fight each other. They're too hard of a task. Low risk, low reward is what they think. But I think it's a high risk, high reward fight. But some boxers, they're afraid of these guys, man. It is what it is, man. But yeah, man. You said Tio not stopping him. You know, I to Tio's credit, he has a real strong left hook. I'm not going to take that away from him. He has a strong left hook, uh, and he has a good right hand. Left hook and right hand. But my thing is, how long? How long can he keep that up? Said my name's staying if he fight anyone but the fights he need to have. Real shit. I was surprised. I'm like, how Canelo gonna get out of this one? Then he got out of it, bro. Canelo is like the master trickster. I don't know how the hell, like, the minute you think he's cornered into fighting the competition we want, it doesn't happen. Like when Charlo became his mandatory, I sat there and I fucking applauded the WBC. I said, oh man, I cannot wait. It's going down. It's going down, man. Then this franchise shit pop up, and then we finally get to this point where it's like, oh okay, he took the deal with Al Heyman. He fought Caleb Plant. Yeah, he got that out the way. Now it's time for him to fight David Benavidez and Charlo. And he said, nope, I got another fucking trick I can pull out of my fucking sleeve. And that's the Mubutu fight at 190 pounds. Lord, Canelo is a fucking trickster, dude. I was so surprised that he did that shit. But here we are, man. And then a lot of his fans are still out here saying he's chasing greatness and all that bullshit. Chasing greatness, whatever the fuck that means these days. Because chasing greatness is, in my eyes, is fighting Charlo Benavidez, plant Charlo Benavidez back to back. And folks like, can he just get a break? Can he? No, there's no fucking getting breaks, dude. Like, what is up with you Canelo fans, man? When you at a certain level, when you want to call yourself the best fighter in the world, nigga, when you got that belt and all those accolades, you're gonna have to defend that shit every fucking chance you get. There's no taking breaks. I don't understand that shit, man. Motherfuckers who take breaks are guys just coming off of fucking life-altering car accidents. That's who takes breaks. You know what I'm saying? That's a real cause for a break. Not Canelo fighting Caleb Plant. Say, oh, you know what? I fought enough white guys, so let me take a break and fight some unknown African in the Congo. And we all know he gonna take the fucking dive. Or we all know he gonna take the check. But you said going for kambosos because he'll actually fight Devin. That's true, man. He's talking. He's like, man, I want to fight Devin. I definitely want to fight Devin. Eddie Hearn, what's up? When I win this fight, let's make this fight with Devin. Let's make it happen. I know Devin gonna beat JoJo. I'm gonna beat Tio. Let's make it happen. And I like that type of energy. What more can you ask for from a fighter saying that he wants to fight the best? He wants to fight the best. Meanwhile, we got dudes in positions where they can fight the best, but they say, you know what, I'm gonna fight this and that. And I hope this cherry pick mandatory fucking goes wrong for Teofimo Lopez, yo. Real fucking shit, man. I'm tired of this shit, man. Like, did you guys hear him say that he is the reason why Bud Crawford and Porter are getting paydays? Man, even his own fans looking like, yo, Tio, you sounding real punch drunk-ish. You know what I'm saying? Not punch drunk, but punch drunk. Like that crazy motherfucker that always wear that hat on Twitter. You know who I'm talking about. That's what the dude sounded like. Other than that, dude sound real crazy, man. I wanted to play a clip about what he said the other day, man. Do y'all know this guy? Sometimes they talk so much. Tupac said, man, sometimes you let a guy talk so much, the truth gonna come out, man. They lie so much, the truth gonna eventually gonna come out, man. This guy admits live on camera that he's injured. Let me roll the motherfucking clip on that shit right here, man. Because when I heard that, I said, oh, man, I love it. Thank you, T.O. Thank you, T.O. Because now you boosted me and motherfucking George Kambosos' confidence up. Because you talking about you injured going to this fight? Everybody coming injured? Nah, nigga. What if Kambosos ain't coming in injured and he heard what the fuck you said? But hold on, let's play that.
Shout out to World Liberty Boxing Channel. You guys see it. Beats. I'm in it. You know, everything hurt. I'm going into this fight hurt too. But my sport, I have to do things that 99% ain't willing to do. I fought Lomachenko hurt. You know what I mean? I had a torn right here in my wrist. I had a complete torn ligament on my right foot, fighting the best fighter in the world during the time. No fans, no audience, quiet as hell. You know what I'm saying? What else can you do against all odds, man? We all go into the fight hurt. I'm going into this fight hurt too, but hey, it's part of the game. You know, it comes with it. You know, and the whole thing is like, that is what separates the greats from being legends. You gotta do things, man. Allen Iverson.
Woo! DJ D-Rec, run the tape back. Salute to my brother, the boxing section. Shout out to my dude, TBS. Shout out to you, man. Real shit. Check this out, yo. This motherfucker.
What else can you do against all ligament on my right? My sport, I have to do things that 99% ain't willing to do. I fought Lomachenko hurt. You know what I mean? I had a torn right here in my wrist. I had a complete torn ligament on my right foot, fighting the best fighter in the world during the time. Okay. No fans, no audience, quiet as hell. You know what I'm saying? What else can you do against all odds, man? We all go into a fight hurt. I'm going into this fight hurt too, but hey, it's part of the game. You know, it comes with it. You know.
Yo, this motherfucker's tripping, man. This guy said he's going into the fight hurt. Hurt. And you hear people excuses, well, everybody goes into the fight hurt, man. Nah, my dude, Ashlyn Sin says Haney T.O. 2022. It's looking like Haney George Kambosos 2022. That's what it's looking like to me, cuz real shit. Y'all hit the Cash App, Artman Boxing. But yeah, man. One can hope. One can hope. If things did go right, man, I would love to see a Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Haney. But the way he's sounding, I don't have any confidence that if he wins, he would fight Devin Haney. So I'm going for George Kambosos because George Kambosos is out here saying he want to fight Haney, man. I want to see it, man. I really want to see it, dude. Fulton and Figueroa fight tomorrow as well. But I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm more interested in this fight right here. I'm gonna watch both. Don't get me wrong. And I'm gonna have a fight party tomorrow. I'm gonna have a fight party for the fight. But one thing I can say for sure, man, is that this fight is intriguing because I want to know if the guy's gonna get takeout, if he's gonna get taked out, the takeover is gonna get taked out. I like that shit that George Campbell has been saying, bro. I really do, man. My thing is, it's not a popularity contest. This is boxing. Anything can happen under those bright lights. Your fight with Loma is not going to save you on that night. That was a different occasion. This is something new. You haven't fought since what? Last October? And it's going on what? It's going on December, cuz. Look, it's been a long time since he fought. And then I'm hearing things. This guy's having troubles making weight. He just admitted that he's hurt. Man, check this out. It's a reason. There's a reason why he was jump roping today at 1 a.m. There's a reason why he's posting videos at 1 a.m. in full jogging suits, trying to sweat off them calories, man, and cut off that extra weight. But he made weight today. He made weight today. But check this out. Listen to my boy George Campbell.
And I am joined by the challenge. And I am joined by the challenger, George Kambosos. George, you said about Teofimo Lopez, he's a soulless kid. He's a fraud. These were your words. With everything that's happened this week, has that reaffirmed your position?
Dude, that's your champion. We're living in his head, rent free. We've been living in a very long time. He's a dehydrated little boy. He struggled, man. How long did it take for him to get here today? He struggled. And you know what? He's going to struggle big time tomorrow. We are ready for war. No problems on our side. Bring it on. We're taking all his belts in his hometown. But where's his people? And here, my people are here.
You've made the long trip from Australia.
Y'all hear that dude? He said, yeah, I'm going to take his belts, man. I'm going to take his belt down under. I'm going to take it to the down under in Australia, mate. I'm gonna take this belt. He just called that nigga out. He said, this is your hometown, nigga. Where your fans at, nigga? My people here. Where's your people at? I thought you was the takeover. We in Brooklyn. We in New York. Where the fuck your people at, T.O.? Man, George is sounding real confident, man. He take that belt and fight somebody in Australia, dude. That shit doing numbers, dude. I'm telling you, man. Y'all be letting these foreigners come over here and make history on y'all ass. Real shit. I would keep it 100. Y'all be letting these foreigners come here and make history on y'all, dude. I wouldn't be surprised if George Kambosos come out here and become, I don't know, to my knowledge, if he wins, he will be the very first unified lightweight champion from Australia, I think. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, you said Kambosos looked like a featherweight. He might rehydrate to about 145 tops. I want Cam to sleep T.O. Fraud or outbox him. Matchroom Australia. Oh, so we got some folks from Australia in here. I see some guys from Australia talk about I was born and raised in Sydney, but I don't think he's gonna win. I'm like, dude, y'all better back y'all man, because if he pulls this one out, this shit is gonna be great. Dude, you guys gonna have Tim Tszyu and fucking what's his name? George Kambosos? Bro, Australia on the fucking rise, down under, coming up on top. And people's like, oh, somebody said, Artman, you rooting against America? Wow, that's so strange. That's so strange. Here's the thing, man. Haney disrespected the American fans by not promising us a All-American showdown. Him versus Haney. He lied to us, dude. He lied to us. He played us. He played us. We wouldn't even be talking about George Kambosos if he just would have signed to fight fucking Devin Haney for undisputed. What sanctioned body would not take that after you just fought Lomachenko? Stop playing games, dude. He disrespected the hell out of us. Y'all think we're gonna sit here and back him? Fuck no. Why this guy over here disrespecting Wilder, disrespecting fucking Haney, disrespecting the rules of boxing, and you expect us to follow this guy? Fuck no. I wouldn't mind a champion from Australia. Fuck it. And then he can fight Devin Haney. And who you think I'm gonna be rolling with? The American. The American, the foundational American. Yep. Yep. He said Tim Tszyu, Russia, he just lived down there. Said she's fire, bro. Said check out Sky Nicholson out. Yeah, shout out to Australia. I need to start selling some stuff out there to Australia, man. Shout out to my Australian people, man. I think I could ship out there. And speaking of shipping, everybody, shout out to everybody who went to my website today and purchased apparel, some merch, using the discount code British Teeth, spelled British and Teeth, T-E-E-F, T-E-E-F. Go on my website, artmanapparel.com, type in the discount code British Teeth, and you can get anything on my website 10% off. Straight up. Shout out to everybody in the chat. But yeah. He said a lot of them don't want smoke with Devin. They don't. They don't. But George Kambosos says he does. And I'm gonna keep it 100. I want to see how he looks before I say Devin Haney totally beats the shit out of George Kambosos. I want to see how he looks tomorrow. I really do. Hold on. He said, man, fuck Tia Female. He ain't trying to fight Dev. Haney said Tia Female was known as Gordo back in the days. Well, he was fat. Shit, probably. Tia Female Lopez, dude, like, I think he's one of those dudes who, like, you see who his Pops is, right? You know what I'm saying? Pops looked like he was on that shit. I feel like Pops, to his credit, he was determined to make his son into a championship boxer, and he did that. But I feel like in the process of creating a championship boxer, he forgot to teach his son certain rules and codes, certain things to say, certain things to do, how you walk, how you talk. I think he didn't teach him those things. I feel like he taught him just the boxing, 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 boxing. Because the interviews you hear today from Teofimo Lopez, it's like he's missing something. Like, yeah, he can put words together and all that, but the things he's saying is like it's not adding up. When people talk, they might slip up and say, some things, they may not be used to the camera, so they say certain things. But Teofimo Lopez, multiple times, multiple occasions, he says something totally asinine, and it makes us wonder, is this guy lacking education? Because he is saying the most asinine things, like he got Crawford and Porter their very first big payday. If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have a big payday. That is some crazy ass shit to say. They're not in the same weight class. What is this man talking about? Then he calls Wilder a bitch. And then he says he's really undisputed. And then he says the WBC, he don't like the politics. Everybody want to be like Pretty Boy Floyd, but don't want to think all this bullshit that he's saying. It's like, yo, it's just wild, man. Did he get hit too many times in the head? Is he lacking some education? I don't know, man, but he need to come up off them belts because I'm getting tired of this kid. I'm ready to see Devin Haney versus somebody for undisputed. Real shit. And I know the fans are too. I'm not the only one. I can't be the only one saying I want to see undisputed at 135. So I can't see Teofimo making 135 after this. These animals like Regis Breeders, Taylor Ramirez, yeah. So I hope Teofimo actually moved to 140. He gonna fuck around and get stopped. He's saying anything to make the news because he has no fan base. He just needs people to talk about him to sell his fights. At 140, gonna hurt him. Bro, WC is a sham. Tio ain't the WC champion. He got two belts. Said Tio is being misguided by his father. Apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Apple, it don't fall too far from the tree, but you can still be your own man at the end of the day, Teofimo Lopez. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, my pops is a crip. That don't mean I'm about to be out here cripping. Shit. You see me out here talking boxing. I ain't out here throwing up the set. So you gotta be your own man, Teofimo Lopez. And I feel like all this shit going on, it'll be a good excuse when he lose. You know what I'm saying? If he lose. It'll be a good excuse because he already said he's injured. You see his dad's asshole. And you seen that, he's struggling to make weight. That's what they're saying in the streets. Um, so those are solid excuses on why he should leave his father and he can bounce back at 140 or something. But at 140, who the hell is going to fight? He should fight Mario Barrios at 140. That'd be a good comeback fight if he lost to Teofimo Lopez. So all this hate for Tio is crazy. Hey, man, Tio put it on himself. Tio put it on himself. You guys making it seem like I just woke up and just hate Teofimo Lopez. Dude, I remember I got the artwork right here in my files. I was painting a picture of Teofimo Lopez. And then he just starts saying some crazy shit about Wilder. And then he just starts saying the most bullshit about boxing in general. And then he faked us out. He hit us with the fake out. After he won the belt, man, look, I know y'all seen on Facebook and Instagram and shit, red flags and shit. You want to know what the red flag in boxing to me? A red flag in boxing to me is when a fighter fights and after they fight, they immediately call out uh, the best, the very, very best of the division. That's a red flag for me. You know why? Because if you do not follow up, 9 times out of 10, which they don't, if you don't follow up, that's just going to make you look like a duck forever. I'm sorry. And that's what these fighters do. Prime example, hear me out. Prime example, Ryan Garcia. What'd he do after he beat Linares? I mean, not Linares, Campbell. Who should I fight? Who should I fight, y'all? Tank? Oh, yeah, I'm going to fight Tank. I'm going to fight Tank. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What happens? Devin Haney, after he beats Lomachenko. Oh, yeah, I'm going to fight. I want to fight dudes like Haney, Javante Davis. What the fuck happens? Nothing, man. And he's not even chasing it. He's not even chasing the shit, man. All this time passed, bro. He was supposed to fight fucking George Kambosos on Juneteenth. Nigga, what? It's about to be what? November 27th? Bro, they talking about $1 million lost, lawsuits after lawsuits, and the fight is finally here. What type of shit is this? What am I reading? What is this? I go on ESPN. Go look it up on ESPN. It's an article. Lawsuits, pending court dates, all that bullshit. And now the fight is finally here. Is this the new norm in boxing? No, real shit. Y'all hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Is this the new norm in boxing? Where a fighter has to go to court to get a fight? The public has to pressure and you have to go to court? They have to be legal documentation for you to fight? Like you have to be legally obligated to fight? Is that the new norm in boxing, yo? What happened to the good old days where, hey, I want to fight you, you want to fight me, let's sign? Bro, when is the? I haven't, bro. Real shit. Hear me out. What is the last fight where a nigga was like, "Damn, I want to fight you, bro, and you want to fight me, so let's fucking fight." What was that last fight? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Even fights like Shawn Porter versus Errol Spence, it was nigga. There was still times where we thought like, I don't know, man. I don't know if Shawn Porter gonna take this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still. It was even times where we didn't even know if Danny Garcia was gonna take an Errol Spence fight. Like it's just weird. I haven't seen it where two boxers genuinely want to fight each other on the highest level, and they come to agreement and they fight. Said Lopez and Garcia are two different cats. You can't even compare that. I'm just saying, bro. Both of them they're kind of in the same boat to me, to be honest. But Ryan Garcia, he's really in the down end, man. But you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna kick a man why he's down. But Lopez, while you're active, man, I don't know. I'm gonna keep it 100. Even though Lopez isn't fighting Teofimo Lopez, I do like this George Kambosos fight. Even though I'd never watched the George Kambosos fight live, because I did my research on George Kambosos and I like what I see, and I see that he's a very well deserving mandatory. He's not an Abney Yurgel. So I take my hat off to this fight, decent scrap. I guess I would have preferred an undisputed match, but hey, here we are. Can't cry over spoiled milk. Said, do you like Cheeseman as a fighter? Yeah, he cool. You know what I'm saying? He's not world level. You know what I'm saying? He's good on the domestic level. War Cheeseman. Go on my website, Artman Apparel, to get War Cheeseman shirts. Use the discount British Teeth, TEEF, to get that discount, 10%. And y'all hit the Cash App, Artman Boxing. But yeah, he's pretty cool. But yeah, man, I like George Kambosos' energy. He sounded really confident. Um, some people read body languages wrong. Somebody told me that he looks nervous, and I'm like, I don't know what you see. He looks ready, and he said, yeah, mate, that man's dehydrated. How long did it take you to get that weight, mate? You know, how long did it take you, dude? Real shit. Teofimo Lopez, he gonna be in for a real fight tomorrow, dude. My prediction is if he does not knock George Kambosos out in, let's say, the first, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. If he don't knock him out in the first 5 rounds, it's gonna get ugly in there because I feel like Teofimo Lopez is gonna get tired. He's gonna get winded, and he's gonna get caught. Said Kambosos has no respect for Lopez. He doesn't fear him at all, unlike Loma Chico weak ass. Mm, mm. Cause let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Prior to the Lomachenko fight, if I was Lomachenko and I seen Teofimo Lopez beat Richard Commey by knockout like that, I would think to myself, it could be a lucky punch, or on the other hand, damn, this kid got some serious power. Oh man. You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of scary. But after seeing the Lopez and Loma performance, a man can look at Lopez and say, you know what, he has power, but he has flaws in his game. Look at how in the later rounds he looked as so winded and Lomachenko was popping his ass, popping his ass. I swear, man, after like the 7th round when Lomachenko started to open up, it's like every punch that Lomachenko threw landed. So accurate. And Lopez's face was, eyes got big, he getting popped, he's looking tired. And he did look like a guy that was injured in that fight. Now that he said it, now looking at it, it's like, yeah, he kind of did look injured. But you see, in the later rounds, he got a little winded. But he picked himself up in the 12th round. But still, somebody who doesn't have an arm injury and sharp and ready and does not respect you and who has good foot speed and arm speed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. You know, that somebody can capitalize off that. What I've been noticing from Kambosos, what I noticed from Kambosos is he's very fast and he's accurate and he has good timing. I did see an amateur video of him getting stopped as an amateur, but that's the amateurs. But you also got to keep that in mind. So that makes me think, what if he does get hit with a Lopez fight? How would he recover? Me a Lopez punch, left hook. Can he recover from that? I don't know. And that's what I'm saying. That left hook from Teofimo Lopez, that's live. That shit can put him out. It can put him out. I'm gonna keep it 100. Teofimo Lopez has a good shot, but if he doesn't get it off and he's tired and George Kambosos has no respect and he's jabbing him, uppercut, dip his head on the low. I seen that. Bro. Some people just watch boxing, but they don't really watch boxing. Like you gotta. Some people don't. They don't know how to do some of this stuff in real life. So it's like they can't really understand. Seeing what George Kambosos does when he hits the mitts, and I've seen him translated in fights. That is a very good sequence that he does. He hits it with a two jab, uppercut, slip the uppercut out the way. I love that shit. If Lopez is fucking gassed and Kambosos has the energy to do that shit, and he's not feather fisted, he doesn't have as many knockouts as Lopez, but don't get it twisted. He's not feather fisted. He still has a pop. And I don't care who you are. If you're tired, if somebody's throwing punches on you, that's just going to have an effect on you, regardless if you have a triple G chin. But shout out to my dude, Checkmate Boxing. But yeah, what I think Kambosos has to do is take that man into deep water. Don't go in there thinking you're going to stop him in the first round. And he said it. He said it. He says, man, I'm prepared to go all 12. We prepared for a 12-round fight. We didn't prepare for a knockout fight. We prepared for a 12-round fight. And I like that type of energy. When a fighter tells you stuff like that, that means he has a game plan. But you say T.O. knocked out Comey. I don't think Kambosos is going to survive. Yeah, you know, that can happen. This is boxing. Your chin can get touched. You can get dropped. You can wake up. Unfortunately, sometimes you won't wake up. You know what I'm saying? Shit happens in boxing. And this is what I love about this sport because you never really know what happens until you're under the bright lights. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You said then T.O. was taking body shots from Thor like an idiot. Got stopped to the body. He could say he was injured on the body from Thor. All types of shit. Hey, man, it's all types of excuses he can use, man. Real shit. But we in here cooking up, man. I've been here 30 minutes already. I'm feeling good, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody who went to my website today and bought some merch. I really appreciate that shit because it's so funny. Like it's funny, like I've never stepped a foot in the United Kingdom a day in my life. But I got people buying merch from me. That's fucking insane to me, but I appreciate it. But we keep it going. Shout out to my folks in the States, you know what I'm saying? We still going strong, but shout out to my people in the UK as well. Um, but yeah, back to what I was saying, man. But what y'all think about Fulton Jr. and Figueroa, man? What y'all think about that fight? I got a couple partners from Philly hitting me up right now saying, hey man, my boy Fulton about to put in work. My boy, my Ock, he's about to pull in work, boy. You know what I'm saying? My Philly niggas, they turn it up for Fulton, man. Said they love you in the UK, man. They sure do. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, my dudes in Philly though, they saying Fulton Jr. is the truth. I'm looking at it. He's the truth, man. But Figueroa, you know what I'm saying? He ain't no slouch. He ain't no punk. He ain't no bitch. He may have the little, you know what I'm saying, the H&M Forever 21 look, you know what I'm saying, Aeropostale look, you know what I'm saying, but that motherfucker can fight. I posted a picture of him. He had his no shirt off with the little blue eyes and all that shit, looking like H&M model. And I said, imagine you get stopped to the body by this nigga. Imagine getting stopped to the body by a dude who looks like he's on the fucking can model for H&M. Damn. Mm. Said, don't know, man. Figaro KO Nuri. He hit that dude with a body shot. Nuri was like, hey, he was like Peter Griffin on the fucking floor. Man, that motherfucker was on the floor like in pain and agony. And you could see it in his eye, man. That body shot was real because he was still swinging after, and he was just like, oh. Those are my favorite type of body shots where the fighter still thinks he can fight, and then his body tells him, fuck no, you better sit your ass down. Said 50-50. Fulton has everything he needs to win. Figueroa brings himself right to you and can punch. Fulton can avoid the liver tap and overhand left. Fulton quick hands should win the day. My dude says, I got Fulton schooling Figueroa. It can happen. Said Neary fought like the fight like an idiot. Say he fought like an idiot swinging wildly. Said them Philly boys is different, man. There's something in that Philly water, man. I don't know what them boys drinking out there in Philly, but they wildin'. Hey, this is so funny. Yo, people are so fucking funny, man. Hold on, I gotta show y'all something real quick. Let me show y'all this real fast. Oh man, I'm over here rolling, man. Look, so I'm just randomly scrolling on YouTube and I see this shit right here. It says Terrence Crawford, humble lifestyle, hot girl, massive mansion, no stresses. Look at who they say. This is his hot girl, his hot woman. Bro, what in the fucking world? This is not Terrence Crawford's wife. What is this? When did he get this white girl? And then I got people in the comment section talking about some what's her at. Lord, look at this shit, man. Hold on, man. People are wild, man. People are wild. You said that page always put black fighters with white girls. That's so fucking crazy. Where did that come from? Where did that come from, man? But man, dude, Teofimo Lopez, George Kambosos, Fulton versus Figueroa. He said that man's drained, man. He's drained. What y'all think, man? Look at Eddie Hearn like, yeah, I got a good steal on this fight. I got a good deal. Look at this motherfucker. He said he's ready. He's ready, yo.
Nice.
Right there. Oh shit. Hold on. He said, I hope he gets robbed because he's an asshole. Hey, our nigga D-High funny as shit, man. Man, if he catch Teofimo with this shit in the later rounds, boy, if he catch him in the later rounds with this shit, hit with that uppercut.
Nice.
Man, if I was hitting the pads, man, first thing I'd tell that dude is the motherfucking. We will be working on dodging that left hook immediately. Immediately, we will be dodging that left hook. What's going on, man? Shout out to my bro, Mr. Allen Young. I can't hear you, brother.
What's going on, Art man?
What's going on to my brother Checkmate Boxing?
Yeah,
Man,
they got.
we love a good underdog story. How
Hey,
you feeling, Checkmate?
well, they got me on a little a Twitter timeout right now. They got
Oh
me on.
shit.
Yeah, you know how I gave fair warning. If they insult me today, you know what I mean. It's all at their own risk. I was going to violate them, their family, and their generations, and I did that. And I got and the person who reported me. So I got a little 12-hour timeout.
So you can only get put in Twitter jail if they report you, right?
What'd you say?
You can only get put in Twitter jail if they report you, right?
Yeah, they reported me. So
Yeah.
I got it. I'm restricted, so I can't tweet for 12 hours.
I didn't even
This is
know
my
Twitter
second.
had Twitter jail, considering how much porn is on Twitter.
I know. This is my second time. I just got out of the Twitter jail like a day or two ago.
Damn, I'm
Bro,
surprised they
that's
haven't got
crazy.
me
Let me
yet.
knock on wood, but I ain't never been in Twitter jail. No, I've been in one time back in the early when I first started in like December.
The first time because I got
But,
into it with this.
but dude, I didn't say anything I ain't never say before.
You must have said the
But
C
it's
word.
one
Yes.
time I called a dude. The last time I did it, I called a dude a pussy,
Uh,
and the other
It
time
doesn't
I was
matter
just
what
calling a
you
dude a
say.
coon.
It doesn't matter what you say. It just depends on how many people report you.
Oh, I'm like, I
Yeah, like
don't.
it's
well,
the same for
he
Instagram.
called me a pussy. He called me a pussy, and I said the only he said don't what did he say? Don't something me pussy. Don't air me pussy. Something like that. I said the only thing that needs to be airing out is your mother's pussy.
Hey, what
And
y'all what y'all think?
and
How y'all
she
feeling about this boy George Kambosos, man?
I
I
hope he
mean,
can pull it off, man.
Cambosos is
First of all,
cool. I mean, Cambosos is cool. It's gonna be good because they're gonna be around the same height, same reach. Only thing is though, Cambosos sometimes in these situations he starts real slow in the early rounds. He doesn't throw enough punches. He struggles getting on the inside, and also like he has 10 knockouts out of his like 19 fights or whatever, which is fine. But based on what I've seen, especially in his last two fights when he stepped up his competition, yeah, I don't think he has enough power to like. I'll say he hasn't. I don't think he has enough power to stop Tiafimo, but he has enough power to I would say keep him honest and keep him guessing and keep him on his toes at least to edge out a decision. But I don't. I'm still picking Tiafimo to win based on skill as well as power. What I've seen thus far, especially with how Kambosos looked against Selby. I'm keep it real. He didn't look fantastic, but it is what it is. But it is going to be interesting, and I do want him to win because it's better for boxing.
yeah,
um,
me too.
Okay,
I
D Hive with the honest assessment. That's how he feel, y'all. Um, how's the
yeah,
panel feeling about that?
I
yeah.
don't like
I,
Tia female. I don't like the dude. I don't like the dude because of all his antics and all the shit he's been saying. Like, it would be one thing if this dude didn't constantly say, "I'll fight this guy, I'll fuck this guy up." Like, dude, if you ain't gonna fight these dudes, then just shut up and sit down somewhere. You know, he be running from Devin. I don't think he wants to fight Tank. Uh, I just think he's a clown, and he probably don't even want to fight Josh Taylor. He talking about Josh fight me at a catch rate of 138.
He said that shit.
Yeah, he said that shit, and I think this is right after he said, "Oh, Devin has to fight me at 140 or around that time." So the dude's a clown, and fuck
Shit,
him.
that tells me that
yeah,
he already knows Taylor will fold his ass.
That's
yeah.
what I'm
Well, I
Because
saying.
totally agree that he's a clown. And funny thing is, I actually picked him to beat Loma. I felt like for the pure fact that he was athletic and his size and his strength, nothing more. I didn't think he had better skills than Loma. I just didn't think Loma would be able to crack that hurdle. Now, for the first 7 rounds, Loma proved me right, but the last 4 rounds, Loma dominated those. The punch stacks are ridiculous. It's just like off the chart how much Loma dominated him in those last 4 rounds, but people haven't even looked at that. So with this, I just think it got got really big headed, and I think he's got unfocused, and he's smoking hookah last week and all of that stuff, and I
He's
just don't
drinking
see the
wine.
dedication.
First of all, let
Um,
me this chat. Let me say this before I cut you off, checkmate. What grown ass man is sitting at a hookah bar smoking hookah?
what professional boxer who has a fight coming up in 2 weeks doing at a bar smoking hookah?
And he got
Okay,
Facts.
asthma.
so with that said, now to be honest with you, I have only seen like very little clips of Cambosa, so I've never seen a full fight of his. But what I can tell you is this guy's hungry, he's dedicated, and I see Tiafimo fall in that same realm of Andy Ruiz fell in with the rematch with Joshua. So with that, he's living off the hog, but he's thinking that one Teo fight, he think his career is made. All of a sudden, he's become Confucius and giving motivational advice, dude. You. So my whole thing is this: I'm hoping Cambosis beat him up, but I hope Teo win for the sake that I want Tank or Devin to beat him. So I
You're not
hope
gonna
it
fight them.
goes 12 rounds. I hope it's a split decision, but I want Teo embarrassed. I want him floored if that's possible. I think Cambosos. Think about this. Cambosos was Manny Pacquiao's sparring partner.
I was just
Now,
gonna bring that up.
so he's experienced power and pain that Teo's not able to dish out. And with that said, he's been through that. And if we've all heard the stories about Teo quitting and sparring and being knocked out in sparring and things of that nature, and we're talking about with 16-ounce gloves. So I just believe Teo may be the better athlete. He may even have the better skill sets, but he does not have the desire right now that Cambosos have. And I think Cambosos is going to he's going to shock a lot of people. So I would not be surprised if Cambosos won.
Yep.
Even if Tiafimo did manage to pull this out, he's not fighting either one of those people. He's the type of dude that wants to earn his hype outside the ring for some reason. I mean, because he already has no fan base. He's on top of the world because he has 3 belts, calling himself undisputed. But he understands in order to earn this hype, he's gonna have to go through somebody that even he doesn't think he can beat. So he's trying to figure out every which way around that. When the reality of it is, bro, you just gonna have to take the L. Lomachenko took an early L and bounced back. Don't be a bitch. It's that simple.
And the thing is that the fans are at fault as well. Well, the fans claiming that he was undisputed and that he didn't have to fight Devin. I'm tired of that shit, man.
Yeah,
These
they're fair.
dudes are one of the reasons why we ain't getting the fights that we want. But they'll sit around here and criticize other fighters because, like, listen to this shit. Like, they'll criticize Earl for fighting fucking champion after champion, killer after killer, but Canelo gets a fucking pass. And dudes will tell you, why does Canelo have to fight killer after killer? And then you got motherfuckers saying, well, Haney hasn't done this, and Jamal Charlo hasn't done that, and Andre hasn't done that. Why these fighters fight fucking bums after
Hey
bums?
yo, what y'all
I'm
think
still
about
trying to.
this?
Oh,
What
God.
y'all? Because they got, and this is why my name is always fucking ringing. They got me on this thing called bad boxing takes,
Oh,
and I
please!
say,
I've been on that. That's just an idiot who walks around and he literally just retweets unpopular opinions. He ain't shit.
yeah, I said unpopular opinion. AB the Can Man would have beat Loma easier than Tio did at 135,
I agree.
and
Yeah, me
everybody's like,
too.
"What?
I mean, it's
How
not a
can you say
guarantee,
that?"
but it's not crazy.
I'm like, dude, like, first of all, it's a fantasy fight, and two, you got to think about fucking Loma lost to fucking Salido, dude. What do you
Right.
think a prime
12
AB would have did to
losses.
Salido, dude?
12 losses, old, slow as hell, and he
And
lost.
he was a real cab driver.
Yeah, I was gonna
He,
say he was an actual Uber driver.
a
And he was
real cab driver.
and
Like,
he was a beer thief.
And a beer thief,
He was
and they
stealing
thought
beer.
that.
I,
Look, I got people in the comment section. This guy's trash. Christ.
Dude, Bruno M Promotions is a
But
fucking
like, but when
bum.
you think about it, them dudes don't know boxing. Them dudes who sit around here and jerk each other off because of whatever old media says. Them dudes don't know real
But look,
boxing.
look
They
at
can't
these
even give you a
people.
reason why it's wrong. You're wrong.
They be engaged like they really love what the fuck I be saying.
And even the quotes are like, it's not really a, like some people even said it's not really a bad take though, because it's not.
Yeah, dude's like, man, it's not really, it's not that bad. Like if you actually
Yeah.
niggas think that what did you forget that AB was, bro? AB was so good, motherfuckers had confidence in him going up in weight. They
It's
don't even
not
have
that
confidence in Lomachenko going up in weight. They want him to go back down in weight.
it's
Right.
not that people
Absolutely.
forgot.
The
It's not
fuck
that
you
people
talking
forgot.
about?
It's not that people forgot. They just literally haven't been watching boxing that long. Most of these pages are run by fucking teenagers. They haven't been watching boxing. They don't even remember AB boxing. All they remember is AB versus fucking Pacquiao and Maidana, and that's it. And they didn't even watch those fights. They had to watch them when they got uploaded on YouTube.
Facts.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
These
y'all
so
know I don't care. You know, if y'all know, I have no conscience on Twitter, meaning I have no emotions or feelings about what anybody thinks that I tweet. It doesn't matter.
Oh
Um,
shit! Hold on,
because
my bad for cutting you off, Mr. Checkmate. But bro,
yes,
Jamel
sir.
Charlo and Brian Castano have agreed to turn for a rematch that will take February 26th at Houston's Toyota Center.
Yes, sir.
hmm
What?
I,
he
I
better
tweeted
he
about that the other day.
Yeah, I
he,
tweeted about it
he better
today.
turn up for this fight, man. He been on some bullshit.
Absolutely.
Man.
You're going
He
to see
better
a different Jamel. You're going to see a Tony Harrison, Charlo 2 Jamel, because he knows he's got to come with that thunder. He knows he has to be aggressive. He knows he can't stay on the ropes.
No,
He
I
and
don't
he
want to
knows
see
he
that.
has to shut the fuck up.
Right.
he could have been undisputed before Canelo was.
He
I
could
don't
have.
want to see. I don't want to see that
The
version of
moment was
Jamel.
too big for him. The
The
moment was
version
too
of
big. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say
He
the version of Jamel that fought Tony Harrison. I don't want to see that version. I need to see the version that fucking. I need to
fought
see the
Jason
version that.
Rosario. Shit.
Yes, I need to see, and I need to see the opening rounds too. And this motherfucker got to remember to go to the damn body. I understand Derrick James. I understand Derrick James is jab centric, real talk. But you got to mix up the punches when he's coming in. This man
That's
sits in the high
because he's
guard.
when he trains with Earl Spence. You
Yeah,
know,
like he just doesn't go to the body at all. This motherfucker's a headhunter. Castano will come at him with his elbows damn near to his forehead. I'm like, dude, drop it to the body and then go up top. This fight
and
should
he
be
gonna hurt
over with.
to the body. He gonna hurt him when he go to the body.
Yeah, because shit, I remember Laura did and backed his ass up.
Well, I have faith in Jamel. I know a lot of people jumped off the train and start, saying this and saying that. Again, the moment got to him. His head got a little big. A lot of stuff happened. People. He was doing things. He was on the world stage, going, basically like he was a rock star. And I just think
But
the
he wasn't selling
anxiety,
out
that
that many
level
tickets.
just was too much for him. But
He
I
also
do
got nervous because he
believe
got clocked.
I do believe that he is going, because I actually listen. He heard him several times. Jamel heard him Castano several times. It could have had him out there several times. You know what I mean?
That's
And I just
facts.
believe he's going to put it together this time. A more efficiently way. Think about this: when Floyd fought Madonna the first time, it was a competitive fight, right? We saw what
Yeah.
happened in the second fight. I'm not saying Jamel is Floyd, but we saw when someone digs in and focus and understand, like, I'm gonna show you, you're not supposed to be in here with me. This is what's going to happen. And the reason why I say this now, and I'll end it with this one, is because Castano only really was getting his points at the last 30 seconds of each round when Jamel was on the ropes.
Literally.
90% of the round, Charlo, was controlling until the end when Castano was flashing with the flurries on the ropes. So I have faith in it.
And also to add to that, this was one of the first times where he had been hit real flush and it actually affected him, and he wasn't used to that. I can tell because I'm not gonna lie, for maybe a round or two, there were about 10 seconds where he was in some deep shit. He was in some deep shit and he felt it. He was over there twerking on the ropes. He was like, "Oh shit!" So because I mean, he was more cautious with Rosario's power, but that's why he didn't give Rosario an opportunity to land clean. But with Castano, he's like, okay, he's gonna come right to me, and I'm gonna just be able to take him out because my shot's gonna hit first, and it didn't work out like that. And he got a shit rocked. He was like, oh shit.
But
If
like
he, Castano
So
is
he hurt
made for
multiple. He hurt
uppercuts.
Castano multiple times. Right.
Castano is made for uppercuts, and he didn't throw enough uppercuts. Uh,
Jamel's never thrown a lot of uppercuts. Uppercuts are a lost art in boxing. That's why Tank is so unique and so effective. Same with John Ennis because they remember uppercuts. I mean,
Yeah,
Jamel Charlo,
Jamal too. Jamal throws. He
yeah,
probably don't
Jamal
hit him
throws
50
good uppercuts
uppercuts.
on the inside, and
Yeah.
that's probably why Tony Harrison was right and says, "Man, Jamal probably used to beat your ass." Because
yeah, he
he
is a
has
little
better
bit
punch.
complex.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
has
he,
better
he
punch
has that
diversity.
conflict.
Yeah, he definitely does.
And I wish, listen, these brothers, all if they just box and smile, they would be so marketable. It's amazing. You know what I mean? I'm in business development, and I'm telling you, I could quadruple whatever they're getting now. I could really quadruple that because I see the marketability. The ladies love them, but they're skillful.
Last time they'll see each other before they meet in the center of the ring for
Yeah.
the main event tomorrow.
You know, checkmate. I always say the same thing. I said it today about the Bud versus Porter fight. I said, man, if you had gave me a budget of 1.5 million to promote Porter versus Crawford, and I had what? And when was this fight? Was last week? And I had all the way from January to promote it. Bro, that shit would do numbers. Because the first thing I do, I'll holler at the rappers. Not only holler at the rappers, I will holler at fucking the Shade Room, all that shit. And just have them, or just create a fake viral moment about the fight or
And
whatever.
that's
The
the thing
Bob
that.
Mafia sabotaged it. It was a sabotage.
Yeah.
Think about this. They didn't even have it on regular ESPN pay-per-view. They had it on ESPN
ESPN
Plus pay-per-view,
Plus.
which means you have to have ESPN Plus before you can even get the pay-per-view, which means you got to pay for this, then pay for that. That was just too much. And the Bud spoke out about that. It was,
Wow.
remember, that they're used to sabotaging, but it was a straight sabotage job.
It was, yeah, that's why I don't even care about the pay-per-view number. We know it was a sabotage, nigga. And
But
then my
to.
thing, my thing is like, dude, think about it. I'm gonna keep it 100. Like, dude, I didn't even get it. My thing is, I'm an artist, right? And without photography, good photos, it's kind of hard for me to do my job. You know, these dudes waited to the last moment to post like good pictures and videos of Terrence Crawford versus Porter. Like, bro, what the hell? So, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, this should have been out like a while ago. Like the Canelo versus Plant, for example. I was able to paint that whole press conference. I had enough time to sell all this merch before the fight. But now, guys like, Bob Arum, he's sabotaging this fighter's fight where, you know what I'm saying, they can't even get real promotion.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And to
also
pull
he's in
back
a
on your
position.
port,
Oh,
all
go
right.
ahead.
To pull back on your point, you were saying you'd go to the Shade Room and all that. I feel
Yeah,
like our fighters need to really tap into the culture. I think we
yeah.
talked about this on another time, a London Live, where it was just like how many of our fighters are tapped into the culture. I can name a few, like Dev, like Spence, Tank, of
Javante
course.
Davis,
Yeah,
Wilder.
Wilder.
Wilder, for sure.
You know,
Wilder's like the king of that shit.
but a lot of people they just go to others. They go to others instead of us. They try to market to others. I think Leonard Ellaby said some whack ass shit like that. You know, where
And then
Tank
he tried to
doesn't only
double
have.
back. Then he tried to double back and say, "Shout out to my guy Ego. Everybody go follow him."
Yeah, it's
It's
like, come
because
on, bro.
it's because they want to be accepted, and also because they see what Bob Arum is doing, and he's marketing to an expanding demographic, even though they're not doing numbers because Bob Arum is Bob Arum is worried about making himself money, not making his company and the fighters money, but. It's more just the psychological aspect of going into a fight knowing that everybody is against you no matter what you do, the double standards. Because, I mean, think about it. If it gets to us to the point where we're irritated, imagine being a professional fighter in that environment, despite the money that you're making and the enormous pressure that you have, because people don't understand that casuals are shaping the narrative now due to the internet. Like people just want to say, "Oh, that's a small portion. That's just casuals." No, 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 no. Casuals are the vast majority of
Or
people that drive the narrative of boxing now,
I,
and
I
that's
tell
just
you what though.
You
I
see all
tell you
these
what though.
false narratives
After this
coming out.
fight, I got casuals in my inbox like, "Yo, who's this Crawford guy?"
Are you serious?
Yeah, real shit.
Damn.
Real
Bob Arum
shit.
is a trash promoter.
No, not it's not based off of Bob Arum. It's the fact that how I promoting that shit because I be posting that shit on my Facebook. I got a lot of casuals on my Facebook. That's why I be testing the waters at, to be honest. Facebook.
You know
Okay.
what's so crazy about Crawford? They're saying people are saying that they don't even think Spence and Crawford would do 100 million. Now I laugh at that. It's because Wilder and Fury did 100 million. They did a 135 million plus just with the 850 pay-per-views for Wilder Fury 2. Now, do I think it'll surpass that? Absolutely. Now, this is my thing. I want to get you guys' take
You
on
talking
this
about
because
$100
I've
million
been I've
or
been
100
fighting
million
this.
pay-per-views?
No, 130. They did 135 million um, with with the 850 just domestic, and then of course
Oh,
they
you
had the
talking about
UK
like the
pay per.
grand total of the?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, but 850 is going to that's 113 million right there. But I want to get your opinion on this. I've been fighting this battle for the last few years, and people just don't understand it. They don't see the bigger picture, right? People are really wanting Spence versus Bud now, and I say no. The reason being is because if it's for undisputed, it would be so historic. The boxing world would stop. The sports world would stop. This would be the Super Bowl of boxing. This would be the biggest fight in boxing. Why? It would be Bud's second undisputed, and it would be Spence's first undisputed.
And
This
you
would
know
be
what I said?
marketed like no fight ever. I mean, it writes itself. Boxing shoots itself in the foot. Why would you guys want Spence and Bud to fight now, and then who? And then they're gonna fight what? Ugas for undisputed? It makes no sense. It's backwards. Why play the Super Bowl before you even finish the
But
conference
you see the
finals?
WBA trying to fuck things up, my
I know
guy.
Yeah,
that's what it is. That's
I don't
exactly what they're
understand.
doing. That's racist what they're doing. They're
Yep.
I
purposely taking Ugas out of commission for 2022 the whole year. That is, he got sued.
147 is too black. That's what it is.
but I
And
don't
it's funny.
understand that though. The money that they'll make with that. Who gives a
He
fuck
got a
about
suit.
Stanionis, Butayev? Who
Somebody. What
cares?
you know what
Don't
that
nobody give a
means?
fuck about them niggas.
You
Who
know
Well,
what
no,
wants to
that
see them
means?
motherfuckers fight?
The WBA is going to get paid regardless, so they
You
don't
know what
matter.
that means?
It's their
Somebody in their
personal agenda.
pockets, my guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Somebody
Yep.
And
put it.
They got to
Somebody
sue
trying to.
them.
Yeah.
If you read the WBA rules, it says that the WBA Super has no mandatories.
that was the
No
purpose of the
mandatories.
create to create the belt. They created it for Lennox Lewis. You know,
Absolutely. Lennox Lewis is the one who made that suggestion. And then that's when they because everybody had what you guys call the regular. That's the WBA World Championship belt. It's not
The
called
interim.
regular. It's World Championship belt. And when
Isn't it the
Lennox
interim
Lewis
title?
made that suggestion in 2001, again they eventually ran with that, and they said so the person can have the leeway. They don't have to fight mandatories. So if that's the case, why did he have to fight Pacquiao, and then why does he have to fight two more mandatories on top of that? It
They're
makes no
claiming.
sense.
They're
I
claiming.
think it's taking the court.
Well, what they're doing is they're actually picking now to perform the belt consolidation. But here's the thing, Chris Colbert at 130, he had a WBA interim for Roger Gutierrez belt, who he would take out immediately. They didn't have a tournament over that. They just scrapped the belts, including Colbert. So I'm like, oh shit. So when a black person holds the interim, you can just get rid of it and say, Roger Gutierrez don't need to fight nobody. But at 147, all the rules are different, and you need to have a tournament. The whole point is to get Ugas off of them belts. And like I said, if my theory proves correct, once they get through that little tournament and there's only one man left standing, if Virgil Ortiz already hasn't challenged for a belt, they're gonna push him that way. Because Spence is talking about he busy, he don't want no tune-ups. Crawford talking about Thurman and doing some other shit, and Virgil Ortiz already had the opportunity to fight him before Porter, and he passed up on that bullshit. Virgil Ortiz has got a fight plus David Avanesian. So I think that if they can clear all that bullshit up, if Ugas keeps it or if he drops or whatever, they're gonna push him to a strap that way because he'll fuck around and beat fucking Stanionis or Butaev. He has a good chance against both of them. But yeah, again, 147 just too black. They noticed that
I
it was
hope
all black people. They were like, we need to switch the shit up.
I hope they can do something so that Earl and Ugas can unify, or Bud and Ugas. It don't fucking matter, bro. Don't nobody want to see Stanionis or fucking Butayev. Who's
Man,
gonna
fuck Staniosis.
fuck both of them niggas? Who cares about them niggas? We
Because they're
want to see
gonna
Earl and Ugas, and we want to see Then Spence and Crawford, get the fuck
Because
out of here with that WBA. Fuck them motherfuckers, man.
if
Fuck all of
Ugas
them.
don't stop them both, he's not. It's a political situation now. He's
I
not
know.
gonna win. It doesn't matter what he does. If he doesn't stop both of them, which he's not going to, even if he make it to a decision, he's not gonna beat either one. If it goes to the car, they're just gonna rob him like they did Michael Fox. Michael Fox was reaching out and asking like the WBA questions on Twitter, and I'm like, bro, you are firsthand. You're a firsthand witness of what they're about. They just don't like us. It's
They
that
need to
simple.
be investigated. Somebody needs to get them the fuck out of here. But then you got to investigate the WBC too. Shit.
The U.S. shouldn't even cater to foreign sanctioning bodies. I don't understand how that even fucking happened. The U.S. should have one sanctioning body like they have for the NFL and the NBA. And if you're a foreigner, you got to come here and pass our rules and be under our scrutiny. It's just that simple.
Boxing needs organization, period. You know, it needs to be, it needs some type of organization so all this bullshit isn't allowed, you know?
Yeah, I know that they want to make boxing super open because of all the global money that's available, and I get that. But you need to have a uniform set of rules so people don't get screwed out of opportunities. Because now, since for example, Chris Colbert got stripped of his interim, is he going to get an opportunity to fight Gutierrez like he was supposed to? We don't know, especially because Gutierrez is at the zone, so they probably did that so Gutierrez can be spared and make some cash because Colbert would have beat his ass. So and then Ugas is getting fucked over as well, and we're being deprived of good fights for the sake of these two fucking Eastern European punchers who don't even have 15 fights. It's in the end, it's got to sit on the sideline and never get a fucking shot. So it's just like, what the fuck? This is like this shit don't make no sense.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
we know what the WBA be up to.
that is some bullshit, man.
The boxing gods need to come and do something, man, so we can see this unification that we're gonna pay for, and it's gonna make more money than fucking. And I know, you right, D. How I know they're gonna make money regardless, but man, don't nobody give a fuck about fucking Stanionis or fucking Butayev. Who
I
cares
mean,
about them motherfuckers?
they're both good fighters, but they should fight each other for a shot at Ugas. They're specifically putting him in line to face Ugas one after the other to make sure he loses. That's the thing. That's what's fucked up about it. How you going? Ugas fought Pacquiao already, did what he was supposed to do, and you're gonna give him two Mandos in a row? And meanwhile, Ryota Murata don't even get one. What?
Facts.
Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. See a female WBA, he don't have a Mando. Shit, did Josh Taylor? Josh Taylor WBA Mando is Tank, I guess. So you know whatever the fuck that is. But yeah, man, it's bullshit. So it's a lot of cap in the game right now.
A lot of cap in the rap.
Yeah, man, it's fucking trash. I mean, I'm glad we're gonna get undisputed at 154, and then the IBF just did some fuck shit where if you check the rankings, they have two open slots for damn near every division underneath the champion. I'm like, what are y'all doing? What the fuck is going on, man? Like, just goddamn.
The
What the fuck?
sanctioning bodies are making them. They're making themselves irrelevant. You know, we're not even gonna
Especially
need the belts after this shit.
especially if you have an undisputed champ. If you have an undisputed champ that has all four belts and constantly defends his titles with all four belts should just be consolidated. It's pointless. You should just compete over one belt because if you have an undisputed champion and they lose all the belts each, if they lose to one person, they lose all the belts. So it might as well just be one fucking belt. That's the thing. Like if you were in a situation where you had an undisputed champion and they were defending a mandatory over a specific belt and they only lost that belt, then the belt system would make some fucking sense. But they lose all the belts if they lose, no matter which belt they're defending. So it might as well all just be fucking one. So it's just goofy shit.
Yeah, very goofy.
Yeah, I agree,
Fuck the
Jay Gibson.
WBA.
It should be fucking standards on gloves, counts, KOs, drug levels. Now, yeah, we need uniformity. But then certain
Who
people like
signed off on these? Shit, I don't know. Go ask that nigga.
yeah,
It's crazy as hell.
certain people like Canelo would lose their advantages, and then we can't have that. But and that's what I was saying earlier about casuals pushing the narrative. Casuals have a lot of fucking control over boxing narratives, And a lot of these people put their horseshit out to test the fucking waters. So it's just like look at Canelo and the Reynoso camp. All the shit they're currently saying, they picked up off the internet. They were never saying shit like that. They were never saying, "Oh, I can fight who I want," or "Who has he fought," or "resume, resume, resume." They never started talking like that until casuals spoon fed them those fucking excuses. And look at Tiafimo. Tiafimo started that book, resume, resume, resume. Started saying that shit 100 times. Nobody ever was talking like that before those two clowns just started repeating after their fucking fans. And that's why that's the people like, oh, casuals represent the minority. No, casuals are now the common observer on the internet. The kid that gets all their boxing knowledge from fucking DAZN YouTube clips. Like, how do you think DAZN grew so big? Because casuals watch a few highlights and think they know boxing all of a sudden.
You spitting facts. Yeah, you spitting facts.
It's just bullshit, man. Like I said, most of your average boxing fan on the web now didn't even start watching boxing until after Mayweather retired because they were tired of seeing the fucking. They were just tired of seeing Mayweather. That's
And
why now. That's why
and
now every division
look,
is a fucking game of keep away from the black fighters.
there's nothing wrong with being a new boxing fan, but my thing is go back and do your research.
Right.
Go back and do your research. That's what I do. I go
Yeah, I do
back
that
and
all the
I
time.
go back and do my research. Like somebody laughed at me, Dan, this your first time watching Cesar Chavez versus Pernell Whitaker? Well shit. I'm a grown man. I rewatched it and I see what it is, and that motherfucker got robbed. And what I learned is that the fucking American style is the kryptonite to the fucking come forward Mexican style.
And I'm gonna keep it real. Like on some fucking dirty little secret type shit. I watch more British boxing than most British boxing fans. BT Sports, Sky Sports, DAZN, MTK Global. I watch all of that shit in my spare time. So when I say that British boxers are just they're a different type, and most of their styles aren't competitive globally, I say that from a point of experience. Like I believe Alan pointed it out. It's like amateurs, but in the professionals. A lot of it is extremely rudimentary and basic, and they will get slaughtered if they came to the states. I'm talking slaughtered by
That's,
like B.
they have an archaic style. They have that standard. You ever see that old 1800s image of, the guy standing back with his? It just, again, their style is upright, and it's just that's what I say, and it's proven time and time again when they do come over to the U.S. and fight our top fighters. You know what I mean? With the exception of a Fury, whatever the case may be, what happens? It's
Checkmate.
just tailor made.
Checkmate. When you say Fury, Fury was taught in the Kronk gym. There are certain.
Absolutely, he has that Black American style. Yeah.
Yeah, and also, I mean, look at Lennox Lewis, also Kronk. Fucking yeah. Most of the best British fighters aren't even British. Lennox Lewis is Jamaican. They try to take credit for him because they know that they barely have shit else. I mean, who do they got? Joe Calzaghe. All right, because he beat up an old Roy Jones Jr. All right, for sure, cool. But you got Nigel Benn, black, fucking Eubank Senior, black, Lennox Lewis, Jamaican. So it just is what it is. But like I said, I say that being an actual observer. Like I watch a lot of these fights, and I'm just like, damn. A lot of these dudes are never going to have a name, but that's why DAZN and MTK are getting more popular because people are just they care about themselves being represented. It's not about the best fighting the best. It's like, oh, I get to see my people box, and I'm like, God damn, you don't want to watch something that's entertaining though. Like these two are never going to do anything. Like shit. I mean, but yeah, that's why they don't want to come over here, and they keep saying that. People keep saying that PBC is the witness protection island. Can y'all tell me which PBC fighter has a franchise belt? Like, because people keep saying, "Oh, PBC is where you go to stay safe." Based off of what? All the
Now,
champions that PBC fucking fight. Top Rank and Dazen can't say the same. They're not making Valdez versus Stevenson. They're not making fucking Haney versus Tiafimo, even though they're on two separate platforms. They're not making Andre versus Triple G, and they're all under the same house. So, what? Like this fucking weird ass narrative where PBC is where you go to stay safe. Are you the people with all the best fucking fighters? Okay.
well, D, have you seen my video on that? Yeah. So Eddie Hearn, he's the one who came over here. He made himself public enemy number one. He says, "Hey, You know, I'm taking over USA Boxing. I'm putting Showtime out of business. They'll be out of business in 12 months. I'm pay-per-view is dead. All of this. So he's basically coming in. He's saying all this, but then on top of that, he says with the 160, he said, "Hey, you know, if Charlo, there's no fights for you. You got to come over to the zone. You're not going to get any fights. If you want to be a middleweight champion, you got to come to the zone." You know, so he's saying all this. He's having all these and you know these you know in-house fights, but at the moment that he needs, when he realized, remember, he says no fights for Charlo. Now he's begging. Now he's trying to force the commissions to actually sanction two champions, to force two champions to fight. Well, he should have. Why didn't he do that for AJ and AJ and Wilder? Why didn't he do that for Tevin Farmer and Tank? You know, so Eddie has cost PBC hundreds of millions of dollars, and people don't even realize that. PBC, just like when it was HBO and Showtime, we watched both of them. It wasn't a versus this versus that. We watched whatever came on. And the only time those fighters crossed the street is if it was a mandatory or if it was, you know what I mean, like a huge fight. You know what I mean? So people do what they do, but all of a sudden they want to make the bad blood on PBC, and it's just unreal. And we know what it is. You know what I mean? It's a racist situation. Is what it is.
Yeah, because nobody really worth watching even fights on the zone. And like people don't understand. Canelo fought what, 3 fights on the zone and almost bankrupted their entire American operation. Meanwhile, Canelo hasn't fought on Showtime in a minute, and Al Heyman already have $40 million fucking waiting on his ass, guaranteed, no matter what the pay-per-view did. It's clear that business is this different, and PBC has more marketable fucking tools. Like some dude was arguing with me today and talking about Tank's pay-per-view sales. I'm like, he quoted Tank's pay-per-view sales as low, but I'm like, he managed to outsell Top Rank's crown jewel Terrence Crawford. Top Rank can't make a pay-per-view without a PBC fighter attached. I mean, fuck, Lomachenko and Teofimo didn't do shit. They're both still struggling for fan bases today. So it's like you like they're making it seem like PBC don't want to cross promote. PBC, I mean, as far as a business perspective, they're not the ones that need fucking assistance. It's everyone else.
Yeah, so I'm happy the zone is dying and pulling up live. I'm happy they're putting on crap shows. Why? Because that a show like it to me. I'm an American. You know what I mean? I'm a proud American. So when I see this, you know, this English muffin coming in saying he's going to invade and take over, I take offense to that. Come in, put your fighters in, and be a part of this situation. But to say you're going to take over, no, I'm not for that. And people don't understand why I feel the way I feel. And I'm thinking, hold up, so you're rooting for a guy who tells you, and I made an analogy today. I was like, so a guy tells you he's going to take your wife, and would you invite this guy to dinner into your home after he already told you he's going to take your wife to his face, and you want to go ahead and welcome him? So they're up there saying, why don't PBC fight with her? Well, why? Why should they? He has vowed to put them out of business. He has vowed to shut them down. You know, Showtime is their platform. Pay-per-view is boxers, you know, the way they maximize their income. Now, I don't buy every pay-per-view. If I don't want to buy it, I don't buy it. I don't say take pay-per-view away. You know what I mean? And I think I told you guys, if especially the big fight, I love to watch the big fights in the movie theaters. It's just an incredible. I pay $25. I'll pay like, you know, I pay for like 4 tickets, and we have a blast. And there's a whole theater full of people watching these big fights on these big screens. So people complaining for nothing, I don't get it. And that's just all the marketing ploy against all things Al Heyman.
It's funny because Eddie really thought that he could take over the United States by just emphasizing non-black fighters as a marketing tool, and it didn't work out. He just thought, okay, if I come over to the States with a bunch of not black people, everything will be fine, and it didn't work out that way.
Man, look, he told Wilder he was just an Alabama boy. All this thing, man. To me, I felt like he disrespected a nation. He disrespected a culture and an ethnic group, and all of these things. You know what I mean? It's just so much that he's done that people just act like it never happened. And I can't forget. That's why I wish him failure. And you know what's something else about pay-per-view? I don't know if you guys noticed. A lot of these people were saying that they hate pay-per-view this and that, and pay-per-view the tanks numbers are low. These are the guys who they don't pay for the pay-per-view, but they get the streams for free, right?
Right,
So
Yeah.
they're gonna
exactly.
watch it, but they're gonna tell you how bad, how horrible it's doing while they're enjoying the fight. And I
Yep.
also saw that these guys were saying like you go and they make comments, hey, steal a stream, don't pay for this, don't support this, watch it for free. So I'll see these people typing all of this stuff. You know what I mean? So they have this thing that I would say 90% of the people who are saying don't get the pay per view, they're watching it for free
And they're not fans of
to skew the
boxing.
numbers.
Exactly. They're not even real fans of exactly. They're not even real fans of boxing. I literally call one guy talking shit about Canelo, and then I see on his fucking Twitter stream he's asking for a link to Canelo versus Plant. I'm like, oh my fucking god. I'm like, bro, just shut the fuck up. You got this dude as your fucking profile picture, and even you don't want to pay to watch his fights. Like, this is what the fuck I be talking about, bro. He's
Mm.
literally, I go to his timeline, I scroll down two tweets. Hey, does anyone have a link for Canelo v Plant? And then when I fucking busted his ass and retweeted, he's like, well, I wasn't at home. Then I'm like, yeah, shut the fuck up, bro. You don't even want to pay to watch him fight because you know he ain't doing shit.
Yeah. Well, these guys are purposely trying to skew the numbers. They don't want it to be a success because they want Al Heyman to fail, and they think every black person is LDBC.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I don't
code for
get
the
that.
N
So
word.
it's a code, that's a code word for the N word,
Yeah,
pretty much. And
yeah,
it's
they're
just
like
so ridiculous.
they're called Haymanites, PBC nut huggers, LDBCers.
LDBCers.
I'm like,
Yeah.
just say black folks. It's okay. Just come out and be who you are. Like Steve Kim still gets respect in public because he's open with his bullshit. Like, stop trying to hide. Like, stop trying to hide and tiptoe around it. You just want boxing to look different. You want boxing to look more like you, and you're willing to rig the rules. I'm like, why do you think that the NBA and NFL looks the way it looks? It's because all humans pass an equal, uniform test, and then the best rise to the top. That's how boxing used to be, which is why it mirrored the NFL and NBA. Now that you're inserting all these rules and politics and PEDs and franchise championships, you like it because your people are getting an unfair advantage and they're getting shots at titles that they're not supposed to, and you're making up every excuse to keep a certain group away from your people unless they have a shitload of fucking advantages to make the shit unequal. Like 4 years ago, nobody wanted Charlo near Canelo. Now all of a sudden that he's about to go to cruiserweight and back, oh, it's cool now. Oh right, now that he can carry cruiserweight strength to fucking 168 or 175 or whatever the fuck he does. Oh yeah, drag Charlo up 5 divisions to cruiserweight. It's cool now. Yeah, see, we've been waiting. Yeah, he looks weight drained at 160. Oh yeah, he needs to move up now. I'm like, wow. So it only took you 4 years, 2 failed drug tests, and a bunch of other shit to finally have the courage to let Canelo fight someone as long as the fight's not 50-50.
And the
When
thing is,
you
Dhab, is that they never released the amount of clenbuterol that is allowed in your system. Like they'll say, "Oh, we raised the levels," but what are y'all raising it to? So you notice, and every time they say, "Oh, well, he's clean," and that threshold of that limit that's been raised. So you know for a fact that that nigga is still taking clenbuterol.
of
You know.
course.
Absolutely. If I posted a vid, and in that vid, it actually had Mauricio, WBC, telling, oh, it turns fat into muscle. It grows. It makes you big. And he's smiling. The interview he did on the Boxing Voice. You know what I mean? They admit to that. Man, I'm telling you, this is the reason why boxing does not have a national commission because they want to continue to cheat the system. Right now, what they're trying to do is rewrite the history books featuring Mexican fighters. You know what I mean? So they want to, whether it's the tea, with the computerol, whatever it is, they want to make sure that they can go ahead and get above and circumvent the rules just so they can have their name in the book. They don't care what you think about today because what they're banking on is how you're going to view Canelo 20 years from now. That's the only thing because we're not, you know what I mean? What we're arguing about, no one's going to argue about. They're just going to look at his name in the books and they're going to say he did some great things. They're not going to bring up that he fought Yildirim. They're not going to bring up that he ducked Charlo and Andre at 160 after only fighting 2 fighters at 160. You know, they're not going to think that he got franchise protected. They're not going to know any of that. And this is what they're banking on.
And
It's just funny because no matter what happens, they still get exposed. Like, look at the Valdez situation. They picked someone that wasn't even in the top 10. Conceição was ranked number 14 in the WBC, and Valdez was juicing, and he still got his ass beat. That just shows you what nature has in store. You're not gonna fucking out science goddamn nature. It just is what it is. You're not that fucking guy.
and
Accept your place and have a seat.
the thing is that I made a tweet. I'm rewatching Canelo versus Bum Lufkin 1 and 2, and them fights ain't even as good as these motherfuckers try to make it. Those fights are over fucking rated. You know, they're good, but they're not as good as people try to make them seem. These are
Yeah,
the greatest fights I've ever seen. Like,
they
no, Spence versus Porter is a better fight. I can name 10 fights, that are better fights. Wilder versus Fury 3 is a better fucking fight than that. You
they
know,
were boring because Canelo was afraid of Triple G's power, and what's most important is Canelo knew with everything he threw, he couldn't hurt Triple G. He couldn't hurt shit. That's why he was just backing up the whole first fight.
That was the funny part. You saw the look on Canelo's face. He hit Triple G with this hook, and Triple G head spun. He just kept marching forward. Canelo was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, Canelo was like, "Oh, this is a bad situation here." And
and he
then,
was not winning that fight. He wasn't winning that. Golovkin
No,
was.
he 100% lost the first fight. The
yeah, he
second
lost the
fight
first
was
fight.
closer only because Canelo was the aggressor the second fight, but GGG threw and landed more. You know what I mean? And
He
that's the
got
reason why I said he would. GGG got burned twice with that, and we know what it is. We know what it is. The only way that's going to be resolved is, again, you got to get him in with those top fighters. Him saying that Andre is a horrible fighter and what's going to fight Rocky Fielding and Yildirim, you know what I mean? And Billy Joe Saunders and Callum Smith was just like a log. You know what I mean? Just a log. He was big for nothing, just standing there getting hit for nothing. It made me want to just, oh, man, I just made me want to throw something at the TV because that was so uncompetitive. You know what I mean? Non-competitive. So
Yeah,
this is the thing here. The Charlo fight that needs to happen. Hey, speaking of the Charlo fight, when you made that, you made a post about that, Art Man, and you said, I think it was something about make a choice or something like that.
I don't want either one of those motherfuckers to fight Canelo at this point. I mean, if they do, great, sure, good, but it wouldn't be in their best interest anymore because the fights are so far from 50-50 with everything that he's going through, not only chemically but politically. I don't even give a shit. They need to
Okay,
focus on themselves and then going to 168.
but my thing is, I believe he will still beat Canelo, especially because of those styles. Canelo output is so low. If Caleb Plant, see, the funny thing is I actually had Caleb Plant winning, by the time of the stoppage. But
I
the
did
thing
too.
about it is he wasn't aggressive. He never gave Canelo any cause for pause. He backed up the entire fight, and when he did throw some flurries, whatever the case may be, you know what I mean. Canelo just took it, waited, and then kept coming forward. Charlo would not do that. Charlo is going to bring the heat. Benavidez is going to bring the heat. You know what I mean?
Android has a good chance, but Charlo no. Charlo
Uh,
no.
and Andrade is very crafty. Charlo no or Charlo. See, you guys. I don't know if you all of a sudden because of the Montiel fight, you guys have changed your tune on Charlo. But you got to look at it. He threw the most punches he ever thrown and landed the most
No,
versus Montiel. Now the thing about it is Montiel, he threw twice as many as Montiel. Montiel, if you look, it was like he landed twice as many. So
no,
it wasn't that competitive. He had a couple of good rounds, and that was it. He
no.
broke his hand, and whatever
It's
the
not
case
about
may
the
be.
Montiel. It wasn't about the Montiel performance. It's about Canelo. It's about what he's doing. At 160, he loses to both Charlo and Andre with zero problem, and even he knew that. But you have to understand is that this is what he does. He like he went to 168 and then came back down to 160 with the hopes of being able to carry some power. He did the same thing at 175. He did the 168. He's doing it at cruiserweight. He's going to either drag them up to 168 or 175 if he even bothers to fight them. And he's going to have, like, people keep saying, oh, Charlo's bigger than him. No, it's about weight classes, not fucking height classes or looks classes. He's doing this on purpose, juicing himself to the goddamn gill. So if he comes down in weight, he'll still be able to carry that power. Because I mean, if he reinflates to like 180, 190 when he was at light middleweight, imagine what he's gonna reinflate to if he has to compete back at 168 or fucking 175. Not to mention the rehydration clauses and political bullshit, and the fact that you can't win a decision against him and you have to put him to sleep or stop him. Like I said, Andrade has the most convincing case to outpoint him and get robbed. But no, Charlo's gonna get stopped the way he fights, and that's not. And again, that's
I
not
think
based on the
definitely.
Montiel performance. That's based on the power that Canelo is carrying and all the advantages he fucking has.
Well, when you look at when you say the power he's carrying, Canelo landed the most shots he landed is when Plant was shelled up on the ropes, when he was getting free body punches. Charlo's not like that. You know what I mean? If you look at it, Charlo's is very aggressive. So Canelo is listen. Canelo is going to be a back and forth tug of war. You know, both of them. I see it completely different because Charlo does have some more. He has that skill. He's not a slippery puncher. You know what I mean? He's not a slippery boxer, but he just, you know what I mean? He's strong and he has that skill and he can hurt Canelo. You know what I mean? He
No,
can
I
hurt
agree.
him.
No, absolutely, I agree that he's strong, but I'd have to see him at 168 to make a definitive decision because we all can acknowledge that Canelo is still doping, and that does make a difference. It
Absolutely. I
it does make a
guarantee
difference. It
you.
don't matter who you are.
I guarantee you Canelo still has Combuterol in his system every fight now. But because they raised the limit, they don't even post it. I guarantee you 100%. So
Yeah, that's what I
when
was
he
saying,
said,
checkmate. That's what I
so
was
when he,
saying.
when they say, oh, you know what I mean, when he say he used the excuses the Mexican meat, well, it never showed up before. I guarantee you, if someone take it to court and get those records, it'll show that he's been having Clenbuterol in his system every fight since. And that's what that needs to come out
I
somehow.
guarantee, I guarantee, no media member in their life will ever ask him if he's still taking that shit.
Fuck no.
Nope.
You get
Well,
fired fucking
somebody
immediately.
somebody put a microphone in front of my face. I'll ask him.
But the thing about it is, like, once he went up to 160, I already told myself that he will never fight those two, and I still think I'm right because every year he proves me right. He's not going to fight. I don't think he's going to fight Charlo, Andrade, or fucking Benavidez. You want to know why? Because he would have done it already. But or I think maybe he might fuck around and invite Benavidez to 175 or even Cruiser where his fat ass belongs. But Andrade and Charlo, then they're not gonna follow him up that high because they'd be dumb as fuck if he did. And B, I just don't think he's going to give them the opportunity and put them in position where they can even expose him at all. Because imagine all this shit you've been talking and you fuck around and get like knocked down or something, even if they lose the fight. That still says a whole lot. So, that's why he's trying to do as much as possible to put as much weight in between him and them so he can keep making all these goddamn excuses.
What he does, he goes up and then scales down, goes up and scales down. So when he scales down, he's still holding the benefits of that power, the newfound power that he's gained. So even
Exactly.
if he lose weight, he's still holding on to some power,
And people don't
increased
understand that
power.
that is the purpose of clenbuterol. Bodybuilders use clenbuterol so they can maintain their strength while they're cutting down the size. So basically, like Check just said, you can hit like a goddamn cruiserweight while you're at 175 or while you're at 168 because you're not actually cutting that much weight. You're not losing that much power. You're able to retain muscle and burn everything else around it.
Well,
And
if you
if you're
look,
not using that shit, then you're at a severe disadvantage, and it's dangerous. This motherfucker can kill people.
absolutely. And like I said, with WBC Mauricio stating on camera that clenbuterol, you know what I mean? It changes fat into muscle. It grows. It makes you big. What the hell is a PED if that's not it? It's that, I mean, they're cheating, openly cheating, and it's just disgusting.
Let me
It's
gauge
just
the panel.
disgusting.
Let me gauge the panel though. If Charlo Jr. pulled this shit off, does he have the most difficult path to undisputed?
If
Yes.
who?
If Charlo Jr., I call him Whopper and Whopper Jr. because they piss me off. But if Charlo Jr. at 154 pulls this shit off, does he have the most difficult path to undisputed?
I was saying
Well,
that. I think I said that on this panel one time. Like I was saying that Charlo and Earl gets undisputed at 147, that'll be
Yeah.
better than Canelo's run at 168.
Well, shit.
Canelo had a shit run.
I think Crawford got a better run than fucking Canelo 168. But yeah, if Errol Spence get that undisputed, he definitely had the hardest run in the 21st century for undisputed, probably.
They'll try not to give him credit for that though. You
But
know.
Yeah, they say Danny Garcia was already a gatekeeper, and fucking Sean Porter was trash because he had an L, and yeah, they're gonna
But
do
then Bud
everything.
Crawford fights him, and then y'all calling him one of the greatest welterweights
the,
in all history.
the thing about it is Earl hasn't ducked anybody. I keep telling you guys when and tell anybody will listen. When it comes to Crawford, he knows. They would. Earl has said that before, and I even before Earl said it, I was saying this should happen for undisputed. He got all these belts on the PBC side, collect them and then fight him. Only an idiot would give up that advantage. Like negotiating advantage is just to be able to have that accomplishment. Why would it doesn't make I'm getting frustrated thinking about it. Why
Cause
would he fight Spence fight Crawford now and then have a letdown? That sharp that drop down for undisputed after that would be so hideous. It's almost like after Floyd fought Manny Pacquiao and then he fought Berto. You know what I mean? Hardly anybody watched it because it was just like you know what I mean? It was anticlimactic.
Well, I'll
So
tell
it would be
you. Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
no, I'm just saying it would be very anticlimactic if he fought um, Crawford now and won, and then fought somebody else for undisputed. Again, boxing, and this is what they want. This is the reason why they cry for that. This is the reason why they call for that because they do not want those two to fight for undisputed. The reason being is it would eliminate all of their saying, "Oh, the Eastern Europeans this or." This person, this or this group is taking over that because
don't
now
know,
you will be forced to call this person the king of boxing.
don't nobody give a
And,
fuck about no
and they
Eastern
don't.
Europeans boxing. Like
Well, that
unless
Paulie, you know what Paulie said. I'm
yeah,
going
well
off. You know
Paulie
what I mean?
Malignaggi, he was a bum in his career. He was a gatekeeper. He wasn't shit during his career, and he ain't shit as
But
a commentator. Fuck him.
I mean, but
you don't.
that's
But why are they all getting championship fights before their 15th fight? Look at Staniosis. He got 13 fights, and he got 13 fights, and he's going for a championship.
I
He's
was I
And
was
speaking
I
facts,
made this
checkmate.
list.
I was
Because
What'd
gonna
you
of
say?
say,
his
I told you that they're assassins for us because they know that we've already conquered the Mexican fighting style. We've already conquered the traditional American fighting style, the British fighting style, and a lot of the other Eastern European styles. So they're bringing these guys over here that are orthodox. They switch to southpaw. They have that shell defense. They're real hard to the body. They have that stiff jab. They fight like Triple G. They're here for us. They're assassins. Why do you
them
think they
dudes
put they
still
put
get smoked. You
eh,
know,
for sure?
they
For sure,
had
but
Triple G,
Ugas is like 36 now, and they know that he can't handle both of these motherfuckers, man.
but they had Triple G over here. Triple G didn't want no smoke with Charlo or Andrade. So that's gonna
That
tell you something, man. These
no,
dudes don't want no real smoke. The only dudes like that are Usyk. Usyk is the only one of them motherfuckers that want real smoke.
well, you say that, but he's not in a position where he actually has to fight Wilder, so it looks sweet right now.
That's
But if he was,
true.
yeah, if he was actually in a position where it's like, okay, the Wilder up next, what would he do? What would he do for real? So I'm not gonna give him that much credit just yet. He knew AJ Punk ass was a refrigerator with legs that would just stand there and get
Oh,
beat up like all the other people he fought.
AJ
So
tried to box him. That was
yeah, so
arrogance.
yeah,
That
that's
was
some cap.
arrogance. I'm going to outbox the boxer.
When you don't got the skills like that, man, you
He's
run that
slow.
motherfucker
He's
over.
robotic. You know what I mean? It's so his balance is bad. There's so many things wrong with AJ that people will look. Oh, he's this big Adonis. He's strong. But guess what? Andy Ruiz. You know what I mean? Once Andy Ruiz opened that can, everybody saw. Hey, this guy was a paper tiger, and all of a sudden he says, "Hey, I'm gonna lose weight. I'm not gonna be the strongest guy." Because now he proved this little fat pudgy dude proved that he was. You know what I mean? He was landing more powerful shots than you. So when he fought Usyk, it was horrible, man. It was horrible.
And let's talk about that real quick. So now everybody talking about Andy Ruiz finna do something with Wilder because Wilder's been through some shit and he's getting up there in age. Man, I swear to God, I
I
put
don't
something
want to
on.
see that fight. I like Andy. I like Wilder. Obviously, love Wilder, but Andy should be going after somebody else. He gains nothing fighting Wilder at this point.
No, well he
Nothing.
don't.
If it was a belt on the line, that's one thing. But
no,
what
he gains a
you
paycheck.
gain nothing. What's going
No,
to get? What are you going to get from it?
his biggest
paycheck.
payday. His biggest payday. He gonna get more bread from Wilder than he will with AJ, especially considering they're on the
Well,
same network. It's Mexican versus Black, which also sells well. But he only want Wilder now because he thinks Wilder's a fucking wounded animal, and it's not gonna go the way
mhm.
he thinks it's gonna go. It's really not. He's gonna get himself fucked up. Cause I mean, look at Chris Arreola was 40, had 7 losses, and was already some Wilder leftovers. And one right hand put his ass down and almost dropped his ass twice. I'm like, bro, you think that shit's gonna go like that with Wilder? Nah, you're gonna be sleep and probably gonna have to sit out for a year or two. You gonna
Nigga,
get
that I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Wilder lost the fight, yeah. But nigga, anybody who get hit with that right hand that fucking had Fury shockwaves going down his body, bro, there will be lights out, like probably be permanent lights. I wouldn't be surprised if Fury has permanent brain damage
Yeah.
I
because of that
mean,
punch.
Ruiz is
Wilder went up
confident
against
in the
physics.
fucking
The laws of physics.
Ruiz is confident
Like,
in that
bro, that
Mexican
I
beef
I
or that
swear to
Mexican
God,
tea they
I've
got over
never
there.
seen nothing like that ever in boxing, where dudes get hit on the top of his head and you can literally see the energy transfer from that punch down his spine.
That's because motherfuckers ain't usually that fat.
If
Yeah, that's
Fury
true.
weighed, yeah, if Fury weighed a little less, was bone structure was little, he would have been. I'm still amazed, man. And understand, Wilder was after. I don't know how he made it past the fourth round. Guts and heart, and still at the end of each round, he still almost had Fury out until he went out. That man, I love this guy, man. I love Wilder, man.
The
Facts.
Heart.
stimulants, the
He
stimulants
you know what I
he
Well,
must
mean?
have been on.
And the thing is that Fury said that he only gained that weight so he could take Wilder's power.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
laws of physics. Listen, laws of physics. He went down, but he got up. You know, and I'm sure he sustained some damage that we don't know about. Fury sustained some damage, y'all. It's you can't take that punishment. If you saw, he almost had Fury out several other rounds. You know what I mean? And it was again, man. If Wilder, he said, you know, he never recovered from that punch and his equilibrium was off, and you saw his face where the ear was bleeding before from the last fight. It puffed up in the same place. So there may be some damage there that he may have to get some type of plate there. But you know, I want him to Wilder get back in the lab, keep practicing, and you know, put them combinations to that body together. You know what I mean? Work on
But
those
you
skill
know,
I
sets.
don't know.
Don't
I
but
exert
you
my
know,
yourself.
thing is, I don't know. It's totally up to Wilder, but me as a Wilder fan, I feel like he don't owe nobody else, owe us nothing else. I think he can hang it up, unless if you want to go back in there and get a victory over Andrew Ruiz.
I was gonna
He
Other
say,
than that, I think he should hang it up because it's like, there ain't no point of taking punishment. You know what I'm
I was
saying?
well,
You
he
already accomplished so much.
I was gonna
well,
say the WB. We was talking about Usyk, and remember a few streams ago we were talking about how Wilder was gonna go for Trevor Bryant. Well, out of nowhere, the WBA pulled some shit because apparently we was talking about it. Fucking Manuel Charr, the champion of Recess, suddenly got a matchup with Trevor Bryant out of bumfuck nowhere. And the reason why I think they did this is because they saw Wilder was gonna smoke Trevor Bryant like some fucking hot links, and then guess what? He on Usyk ass. So they was like, ooh shit, okay, we got to run interference because like Alan was saying, oh, Usyk about it, and I was like, I don't know if he really about it because he's not yet in a position where he actually really has to fight Wilder. So I'm like, if you actually got to come see Wilder, it's a different situation than all that fucking talking. Because Ruiz wasn't even thinking about Wilder, and Wilder was a fucking KO machine. Now all of a sudden he's beltless, looked like shit his last fight, needs some profile. Think he got a wounded animal. Suddenly Wilder looks like an easy Vic. And then the moment Wilder talking about going for Trevor Bryant, which would put him in position to be Usyk's Mando, suddenly they bring Emmanuel Charles useless ass out of fucking recess to bring him in to get Trevor Bryant off the board. I'm like, ain't that a bitch? Meanwhile, Ortiz fucking was supposed to be fighting Andy Ruiz. That fell through because he wanted Wilder. And then he was trying negotiations with Charles Martin, but Charles Martin fighting Ortiz. So he's like, shit, Trevor Bryant taken. Let me go ahead and get Wilder and put a decent name on my resume aside from AJ. So see how the WBA be fucking shit up at all levels? They heard fucking Wilder coming for Bryant's scalp, and they was like, oh shit, nope, gotta run some interference from Usyk ass.
it's horrible, man. It's racist. Again, they're trying to whitewash. They're just trying to black, you know, just get the. If you even when you look at all these rankings, just look at the rankings. I don't even talk about the pound for pound rankings. Just look at the regular rankings. You don't see fighters with it. What Gary Antoine Russell. If you guys hear me and see me, I love this guy. I love his skill set. I love his determination. I love his focus. I see in Gary Antoine Russell at 14-0 and 14 KO the same thing I saw at Tank. When I first saw them on Spike TV, I knew the first fight I saw. I think I saw Tank in the seventh fight or something like that. I was like, this guy is it. I seen anything with Gary Antoine Russell. Why don't they ever call his name? And the reason why I bring up Gary Antoine Russell at 14-0 and 14 KOs is they only got 13-0 with 9 KOs, but yet he's getting a championship fight. That they did the same thing with Devrenchenko. You know what I mean? He got 2 championship fights. He got one, you know what I mean, with GGG and with Danny Jacobs. You know what I mean? From 12th and 13th fight. Why does it take so long? Look at
Well,
Booth and
with Chenko, I don't fault him. I don't count that one because niggas wasn't fighting that 116. We already know this. So they just kept throwing him in there because the niggas weren't fighting each other. So
see, but I'm looking at the overall picture. That's just to look at him, that would be the micro. I'm looking at the macro, and the macro says this is across the board. The Eastern Europeans, are getting championship fights at 1-0, 1-1, 5-0, 7-0, 9-0. These guys, this is Bivol. It's the same thing. Benavidez, same thing. Obviously, Loma, the same thing. All of these guys. I made this chart that shows the Sugar Ray Leonard. I think it was his 25th fight. All of these greats that you think of, you know what I mean? Floyd was the only one who got it at 17 fight. Other than that, they were all in their 20s when they got their shot. And it's not. It's about you have to, huh?
And I said they only did that because they wanted Floyd to fuck around and lose. They thought he was going to lose. That's why they did that.
Well, he showed them. He changed the game. They hate him now because he changed the game.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to win that. People forget. They're like, oh, see, Floyd got an opportunity. I'm like, no. They matched him tough to try to get him to lose what they're trying to do to Shakur Stevenson. Because Shakur Stevenson's name has been put with Floyd, so now they're trying to do the same thing to him. Match him extra tough with the hope he loses. But they're going to expose a lot of their stable, because even at 135, he ain't losing to Lomachenko. I'm going to tell you that right now.
He's going to beat Loma. He's going to beat Loma. Did you hear they talk about Bob talking about he won? Did you hear Bob talking about he wants Teofimo to fight he wants Shakur to fight Teofimo now?
Yeah, and he's gonna beat his ass too.
As soon as these guys move up, they only do this to the Black American fighters. Only the Black American fighters. They once you establish up, they want you to go up to the next weight class because they want you to be at a disadvantage. This is the reason why I told you I do not want to see Charlo versus Benavidez. It's an ignorant fight. It doesn't make sense. Go up to 168 to fight a guy with no belt. You're at a disadvantage from the beginning. It's dumb. It's stupid. What do you gain?
Yeah. Even though I think he could beat Benavidez. I think he can beat Benavidez at 168. But yeah, you're right. I mean,
but the point is, they did the same thing to Floyd. They wanted Floyd to go up to 160 to fight GGG. You know what I mean? Oh, so it's just now they want Tank to go ahead and fight Regis at 140. They want, you know what I mean? They
Tank
want
all so that's cool.
Yeah, Tank, he will beat him. He will beat him, and he will KO Josh Taylor as well. My point is, Tank, he only had one 140 fights. So all of a sudden, that's it. Canelo had one 175 fighter. Are you guys throwing him up there to the 175s? No, he's skipping them. He's going to some big head, unknown, nondescript African guy who nobody knows who he is. I think you said you know who he is, but I don't know him. And majority of people I don't know anything about him. You know what I mean? And most people don't. I only know a couple of cruiserweights because cruiserweights they don't really be. That's why they're not televised a lot because they don't really have.
And that's it. We don't know too much about him. But hey, y'all, I gotta end this live here pretty soon. Gotta go get me some food. Any closing words?
Yeah, I got one real quick. So now all of a sudden, this just popped up on Twitter. Now all of a sudden, people are defending the fucking Makabu fight because he has to fight a mandatory on January 29 before Canelo. And I'm like, bro, they just want some highlights for this fool. They're like, oh, it's just Mando. He has to fight him. I'm like, when the fuck has anyone had to delay a Canelo fight for fucking anything? Stop the goddamn cap, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like. That I seen that post. I said, dude, Makabu, that dude, he about to fight, about to go lay the fuck down and look like a highlight special. I wouldn't be surprised if he came out looking like Wilder in that bitch.
Yeah, they're gonna go. You know, the Canelo's people gonna go on the side, pay him a little extra. Hey, you know what I mean? Take that little dive, take that little night. Hey, I want one thing I want to say before you close this down is pay attention to this Tank fight is going to be so good. I posted a clip of um Cruz. I'm telling you, the guy, he reminds me of a little Tyson. The way his balance, his peekaboo in and out style. You know what I mean? His you know his when he throws his hooks, it's to the body, it's to the head, it's uppercut. I'm telling you, man, this is going to be an exciting fight. If you guys aren't excited for it, wait until I tell you it's going to be an exciting fight. Whenever it ends, it's going to be, and I hope Tank get tested. I want Tank to get tested, but I want him to show and prove to show everybody what he really is. But I can't. I'm looking forward to this Cruz fight, man.
My closing
Me
words
too.
is just I can't wait for this Fulton and Figueroa fight, man. My boy Cool Boy gonna show out, man. He gonna show why he the best in that division. You know, hopefully go for undisputed soon after that. You know, like I said, them Philly boys, Boots and Cool Boy, they different, and hopefully they get to show their talent soon enough. So I'm just real excited for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that too. Another reason for Inouye to duck. Another reason for Inouye to stay at 118 and scared to come up to 122 because he don't want to meet Cool Boy.
I feel like Cool Boy will beat him. You know, but don't say that.
Absolutely.
People be like, I start crying like bitches. Like, yeah, Cool Boy will beat
Bad
him.
boxing takes. A Negro
Yeah,
thinks he can step out of line.
yeah.
I step out of line every day. I have no
That's
conscience
how it
on
be.
Twitter.
They
How
really
My
dare
do
you
takes
like
are
say a
my
that,
takes.
man.
Negro
If you don't
These
fighter?
like them,
all
bring
them
me your mother.
suckers, they gang up on you and stuff, and then they say you don't know boxing, but they don't explain to you how you don't know your boxing. Like, explain to
They
me
get
how
on
Never,
I'm
my
wrong.
bro. These dudes,
never
you
break
know they
down.
be, they have fucking they got the notification bell on for me whenever I
Oh hell
post.
yeah,
Oh yeah, that's
absolutely.
facts.
They're like the first ones there. Like I see them like comment like a second after the post. I'm like, God damn, y'all get the shit quicker than me.
Yeah, but
All
shit,
right,
I'm gonna holler
bro.
at you guys.
All
All
Okay.
right,
right,
thanks
peace,
for having
family.
me on. Later,
Yeah, no
guys.
problem. We gonna do the watch party tomorrow, y'all.
Oh, okay,
All
cool.
right.